Air traffic control, ATC services use ground radars extensively to serve a large number of requirements and users. They employ both secondary radar, which we will look at in a later lesson, and primary radar techniques. Primary radar systems used by ATC include Area Surveillance Radar, RSR, Terminal Area Surveillance Radar, TAR, Aerodrome Surveillance Radar, Precision Approach Radar, PAR and Airport Surface Movement Radar. This is the generally preferred term. However, the ERSA ATPL learning objectives use the term Aerodrome Surveillance Detection Equipment, so you should be able to recognize it. Let's look at each one of these in turn. Area surveillance radars, also called en route surveillance radars, are used for long range, particularly for airway surveillance, to provide the range and bearing of aircraft. Additional information, such as the aircraft's unique code and flight level, is provided by secondary surveillance radar, which we will discuss in more detail in a later lesson. The UK is divided into two regions, the London Area Control Centre and the Scottish Area Control Centre. The boundary is at 55 degrees north. Each centre uses a network of widely dispersed radars to improve coverage. This is the London Centre and this is the Scottish Centre. Frequencies range between 600 and 3000 MHz in order to avoid weather attenuation over long ranges. A frequency of 3000 MHz would give a wavelength of 10 centimeters. PRFs are usually around 250 pulses per second. This ensures that the next pulse is not transmitted until the first one has had sufficient time to return from a long-range target. For long-range radars, the pulse lengths and wavelengths are relatively long, between 2 to 4 microseconds, and 10 to 50 centimeters respectively. The longer pulse length ensures that the target is illuminated for sufficient time to give a good return at a long distance. They are required to see a very large area, so a slow aerial rotation rate of around 5 revolutions a minute is used. These characteristics give them ranges of 2 to 300 nautical miles. Terminal surveillance area radars, a medium range, operating up to about 75 nautical miles. Used for controlling traffic in terminal control areas such as the London TMA shown here. Aircraft are kept apart at suitable distances in ATMA and may frequently be stacked in a hold when traffic is heavy. The radars used are often the same ones as for area surveillance. Even when different ones are operated, the frequencies used are the same, 600 to 3000 MHz. PRFs are usually around 500 pulses per second. Pulse lengths are between 1.5 and 2 microseconds. Aerial rotation rates are 10 to 15 revolutions a minute. These characteristics give them a maximum range of up to 100 nautical miles. As the aircraft gets closer to the aerodrome, control of the approach is usually undertaken by the aerodrome's own approach controllers. And the radar used is called Aerodrome Surveillance Approach Radar. It has a range in the region of 25 nautical miles. These radars can be used to give pilots non-precision approaches. Here is a typical example. A normal frequency is used for these types of radar around 10 GHz. PRFs are 1 to 2000 pulses per second. Pulse lengths are between 0.5 and 0.8 of a microsecond. Aerial rotation rates are about 30 rpm. They normally give a maximum range of 20 to 30 nautical miles. Apart from providing positional information to the air traffic controllers, aerodrome surveillance approach radar is used to provide both vectors to the extended runway centerline and radar-controlled approaches. Here is an example of an aircraft receiving vectors to the ILS, but we have omitted the pilot's replies except for one instance. Bravo Charlie, this will be radar vectoring to the ILS runway 27. Bravo Charlie, turn left, heading 090 degrees, descend to 3000 feet on QNH 998. Bravo Charlie, turn right, heading 130 degrees. Bravo Charlie, turn further right, heading 180 degrees and descend to 2000 feet on QFE 982. Bravo Charlie, turn further right, heading 240 degrees for a pilot intercept of the 27 localizer. Descend to 1500 feet QFE and report localizer established. Bravo Charlie, localizer established. Bravo Charlie, clear for final approach on the 27 ILS, call tower on 1 to 5.15. Radar-controlled approaches can be either a surveillance or a precision approach. We'll look first at surveillance radar approach, SRA. An aircraft being positioned for final approach will be given a heading to close with the extended runway centerline at a range of at least 5 nautical miles from the runway threshold. The glide slope is usually 3 degrees, which equates to a descent of roughly 300 feet per nautical mile. The surveillance radar gives no height information, but the controller passes ranges from touchdown and checks heights for the glide slope. The pilot can adjust his rate of descent accordingly. The heights are worked backwards from 50 feet above the threshold, which is the reference point. This would put the aircraft at 0 feet at the touchdown point. So, at 6 nautical miles from the runway, the aircraft should be at 6 times 300 plus 50 feet. That is, 1850 feet above the runway. Surveillance radar approaches normally terminate at 2 nautical miles from the touchdown point. However, when high-resolution surveillance radar equipment is available, this distance reduces to half a nautical mile. And the approach controller will provide a continuous full-time talk-down from 4 nautical miles, with ranges and advisory heights being given every half nautical mile. Where an airfield and an aircraft have an ILS equipment, this is likely to be used rather than approach radar. A form of radar service available at military airfields only is precision approach radar. The information is presented in 2 halves of the same screen for convenience, but each half is independent and originates from 2 separate antennae. The controller is therefore able to provide a continuous flow of instructions down to half a nautical mile or less from the touchdown point. There are 2 separate radars, one for azimuth and one for glide path, but they both have very similar characteristics. The frequency is around 10 GHz. PRFs are 1000 pulses per second or more. Pulse lengths are between 0.5 and 0.8 of a microsecond. The aerials do not rotate, instead they scan over an aerosector. Finally, there is Airport Surface Movement Radar, also called Airfield Surface Movement Indicator, ASME, or Aerodrome Surface Detection Equipment, ASDE. It is used to provide a very accurate display of aircraft and vehicular traffic on runways, taxiways, and aprons. The very high definition is achieved by using a very narrow beam. The frequencies used are between 15 and 17 GHz. PRFs are 10,000 pulses per second or more. Pulse lengths are 300th of a microsecond. Aerial rotation rates are about 60 rpm. The range is 5 nautical miles. The range will be tailored to the size of the airfield, and coverage may be achieved by using one or more antennae. Images are so detailed that it is sometimes possible to distinguish between different types of aircraft and even to identify debris on a runway. In this lesson, we have looked at 5 different types of radar. We saw how their differing requirements mean that they are designed with different frequencies, PRFs, pulse lengths, and antenna rotation speed and range. As we can see in this summary,